life. It was a beautiful school. It was very small, and it had a huge big room which had sliding glass doors, and they would make it one room or two rooms. We had garden that went round the back, which was all cactus gardens. This is the Pretty Beach store, which was built earlier than me, and it was the hub of Pretty Beach. All the young women and men gathered there and have ice creams and such forth. The Bowsers were sort of rather trendy at that stage. There was a ice cream bar on the right-hand side where all the kids would congregate after school and thought they were very, very trendy. Here we are at the store again, and you can see that there's a building along the side to the left which was used as a meeting place, as a playroom, as a dancing hall. Then you go across there's the bakehouse on the corner opposite with a greengrocer alongside.
In the 1960s, the old store became Don and Jean Radford's fish, prawns, bait and tackle shop, with fresh fish straight from Don's boat, which he built himself behind the shop. St. Peter's Church figured prominently in Gwen's life and in the life of the community. There were concerts and much dressing up and lots of fun by all. And there were Sunday school picnics, this one at Kilcare Beach, led by Miss Jennings on the left. And as Gwen says,
we had lovely times at this stage in our life. St. Peter's Church at Wagstaff. This was the altar for my sister's wedding that she had, and it was a very important time in our life and very loving.
And here is the bridal party after the ceremony, and as Gwen says,
it was our very happy day.
And here she is, Gwen Greenhow, Miss Pretty Beach, Miss Kilcare, 1953. With a prize that included this fine studio portrait. In later years, Gwen Perry, as she became, and her fellow bookend, Faye Gunther, played a major role in Pretty Beach Wagstaff community life. Let's move on now to Wagstaff, firstly remembering that all around the bay was home to our first people, and the evidence of their countless years of settlement is still abundantly available in caves and middens. The Wagstaff family were early settlers and gave their name to the area, which was subdivided back in 1906. The blocks were sold and holiday cottages appeared on them. The blocks along the waterfront were very narrow, and the houses, some still remaining, had to be skinny too. This postcard described Wagstaff as the prettiest place on earth. Note Manly House and the mini golf course opposite where the hall stands today. Manly House was built on the site of the old Wagstaff family home, and it was a favourite holiday guest house from early in the 20th century, as you can see by the ladies' clothing. Those big hats were handy in 1910, when you went out for a row with father doing the hard work. You would need to hang on to them on the open deck of the launch, however. Waterfront homes, with their own wharf and pool, were great places for holiday gatherings. John and Pam Moore are the present owners of a beautiful and historic waterfront home.
This is our house, called Harlaxton, built back in 1923. The name Harlaxton stems from Harlaxton Manor in England, built by Gregory in the early 1800s to replace an earlier manor house built in the 1300s. There is another Harlaxton in Toowoomba, Queensland, built by the Gregory family in the mid-1800s. Harlaxton Wagstaff was built in 1923 by Walter Gregory, a nephew of Augustus Gregory, a well-known Australian explorer and surveyor. Holiday houses include the Melvilles next door. Their family had a great collection of photos like this one, with 25 people in their swimming costumes of the day in front of the Gregory's house. Walter Gregory can be seen in the photo all dressed up for having fun. Here we see the swimming pool as the centre of attraction, especially at high tide on a warm sunny morning. The Moore family came to Harlaxton in 1943, and the tradition of family and neighbour gatherings has been continued over the years. This is our family in 1995. Fishing was a major pastime at Wagstaff, and a time-honoured tradition was nailing the heads of large fish caught by people to the front of a boat shed. These fish were mainly flathead and jewfish. This was evidence, without exaggeration, of the fish actually caught. This jewie, which is a big one, was attacked by a shark while being landed. Another tradition was to clean the fish caught on the boat shed walls or the walking planks of the swimming baths. Our family pets always joined in, hoping for a feed, along with the local pelicans as seen here.
Let's hear now from one who remembers the days before the demise of Manly House. Meet Alan Stewart, whose parents ran the store 1937 to 1945.
This is the Wagstaff store in 1938. If you look to the left, you'll see the Post Office and Commonwealth Bank, which was tucked in behind the public phone booth there. The wooden veranda across the front was removed by my father following the fire in Manly House. Inside the store, my dad used to boast that he could sell anything from a needle to an anchor. Some of the things I remember about the store is weighing up goods, because everything came in bulk. And one little thing that not everybody knew was there was a trapdoor in the floor, and Dad used to put chocolates and things down in there to keep them cool in the very hot weather. This is our family group with me on the right hand side. It was taken in the small lounge room that we had, and you'll notice the old radio in the background. We used to sit in this room gazing into the embers of an open fire and listen to the radio. And one of the features in the radio was a story called The Witch's Tale. It was very, very scary. Mulhall Street in 1944. Now, one of the things we used to do here was grass sledding. We made sleds with a couple of tree suckers shaped like hockey sticks, put a footboard and a seat on them, and then we would go up into the bush and slide down on the leaf mould and out onto this grassy area down Mulhall Street. Now you can see all the obstacles that we had to dodge on the way, and I'll tell you what, we had many an accident. Here we have a group of the boys that used to go to high school from Wagstaff. We used to catch the ferry about 7 in the morning. Now if you see the Ron Walters in the back on the left, he would have to walk from Kilcare Heights